This program is about unsolved mysteries, wrapped in a conundrum, wrapped in an enigma, surrounded by chaos. Whenever possible, the actual family members and officials have participated in the telling of these events. What you are about to see is not a news broadcast.
Good evening, and welcome to Unsolved Mysteries, wrapped in conundrums, wrapped in enigmas, surrounded by chaos. I'm Robert Pyle. Tonight, a mystery that has an entire nation in its grips. An unknown force that is ruining everyone's plans for holidays, parties, vacations, even purchases. Little has been known about what exactly is going on, but on this episode, we'll shed some light on the fear that has become too familiar to us all.
I'm Florida.
I'm Jared.
Jared and Florida are a 20-something couple.
This trip to Ireland, and he had no idea.
Neither has ever had the opportunity to travel abroad.
Yeah, we got a passport. I had to lie. I made up this whole lie and fiasco about how we had to get our passports right then because I wanted to go to Canada in the summer.
Jared got the surprise of his life, and then they were able to begin really planning.
And got him a hat because he loves beanies that had the flag of Ireland on it, and I had him open that first. So he was like, oh, an Ireland hat. And then I was like, now you open this, and he opened it, and that was the itinerary to the Ireland trip. And
I've always dreamed of going to Ireland.
The trip was going to be spectacular.
So we were going to fly in to Dublin and spend the first 2 days there staying in a castle.
But then the unimaginable happened. Their trip disappeared.
I called the travel agency to make sure that we were all good because all these things had started disappearing for other people. They assured me multiple times in that one phone call that everything was fine. We were good to go. Our trip was safe. There was nothing to worry about. And then that week, when was it?
The next day, it was just, that was it. It was gone.
At the last moment, just days before their departure, they were devastated by the loss.
I actually remember where I was. I was at the shop. I was working, and a client came in and was like, oh yeah, I just heard they all traveled to Europe, gone. I was like, what?
Florida and Jared tried unsuccessfully to learn what happened to their trip. But despite their best efforts, they got no answers. So they planned another trip in a desperate attempt to save their future together.
We were going to go to the Grand Canyon, and it was going to be a long trip. We had someone who we were going to rent the RV from, and like 3 days later, after we pretty much finalized everything, it disappeared.
Yeah, the RV disappeared.
All connection to that person disappeared.
Yeah.
Finally, as a last resort, they booked a room in a bed and breakfast near an amusement park within a couple hours of their homes.
What happened to that trip?
Disappeared.
Just like everything else.
Mike had no plans of traveling. He wanted to stay home and throw a party for friends, family, and neighbors.
Sort of a fun gathering, like a party, a soiree, if you will.
A part-time chef, he planned an extensive and impressive menu he could be proud of.
Oh, I would do a huge cheese platter, Stilton, a Gouda, perhaps a smoked Gouda, cheddar. People love cheddar, especially around here. A brie, triple cream, of course. I only serve homemade crackers. Goose liver pate. And also a sweet pate would be good. Sopressate or prosciutto, some toasted nuts. all kinds. A huge platter of patisserie, croissants, quinamon, pain au chocolat, all the favorites. I was thinking 3 or 4 cakes to start. I make everything here in my kitchen, of course.
He sent out invitations as he worked hard to prepare his home for the lavish affair.
Well, the dining room had been covered in layers and layers of renovations. And so I spent, I don't know how many hours of work.
He even stripped his antique dining chairs, family heirlooms.
My chairs had ugly seats, and I was all ready to go shopping for the materials to put new seats in, and everyone's panicked. Stores are closed.
Then, unexpectedly, and for no apparent reason, people began to cancel.
The first person to back out was Margaret, who lives down the street from me. She's elderly. She had been so excited to come. This was her big social event of the year.
That was terribly sad for Mike. But then another person called to cancel.
I really wanted the leader of the local neighborhood watch team to come. And well, they called and told me that they were just too busy and they couldn't make it. He sounded scared. I thought that was strange.
Mike had a party and a home improvement project mercilessly thwarted by an unknown perpetrator of mayhem.
Sorry.
Ken and Karen
I'm Karen.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
are empty nesters who moved into a new home hoping that it would be more accessible than their old house.
Just over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just about it. Well, yeah, over a year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
A year
it's
and a
been
few
just
months,
kind of one.
Right? A year and a few months.
Yeah, a year and a few months.
Yeah.
It's been
Not quite 2 years, but a year and a few months.
kind of a challenge,
A little bit of a challenge.
a
Yeah.
bit of a challenge.
A lot of
We,
a challenge.
There was one major problem in their new home. The refrigerator was so poorly designed that they couldn't use it.
we had part of our kitchen ceiling collapsed.
Collapsed in.
I don't know why.
Fell on one of our
happened.
dogs, actually.
Yeah, he's pretty traumatized.
Yeah. It was just the worst designed refrigerator ever. I mean, I couldn't bend over to get a bottle of milk to save my life.
Or
You had to
your
do it all
beer,
the time. Or
remember?
my beer.
Because your beer was
So
on the bottom
low,
shelf, and
There's this thing in the
Everything's
center
low,
that
it's
kind of
low
blocked
down.
everything out, and yeah.
bump
It's
your
just-
head.
it just
I
wasn't-
have really bad back.
With the help of their son and his friend, they moved it to their basement, expecting to be able to replace it within a day or two.
And our son was home from school with one of his friends, and so we thought, well, let's just have them move that refrigerator to the basement, and we could just store stuff in it, maybe change it into a filing cabinet.
But they weren't able to.
Well, we went to and
And
you know, that was the place. We even tried. Every
all
one of them
closed.
was closed.
Her loving husband, Ken, is forced to help her up and down the stairs multiple times each day.
So we have to go all the way down the steps. I'm using a cane now.
every day.
Every
like 3
day.
or 4 times a day.
Got some medications, and just trying to,
Just trying to get her up and down the steps and bending over all the time. Her back is terrible.
I don't know
now.
what happened.
And there's no tennis playing for her right now because her back is so bad. Well, I'm a mess, really, because number one, I don't like seeing her hurt like that, But probably more importantly, I don't like going down the basement to get my beer.
This hapless couple still isn't able to name the ominous force that has plunged its family's life into chaos and turbulence.
Yeah, it's like the universe is conspiring against us.
This frightening being, this rude, obnoxious, nasty, angry witch is being called Rona for short. And authorities are not sure what exactly it is. Damien Epidemijola is a public health expert and the director of the American Businessmen Stopping Health Crises.
Now, this monster thing, whatever you want to call it, around here we call it public enemy number one. Now, we don't know exactly who it is or what it is for that matter, but we know that it's dangerous and it's ugly and it must be stopped, frankly. It appears to be some kind of witch, you know, one of those scary women. And she's flying around on her broomstick, sowing disease. I don't know how else you're going to explain that it's spreading faster than a climate fire in Colorado. Wildfire, climate's fine. Or it's supposed to be like that or something. The point is, other countries, these other countries, we know that this thing has spread to these other countries. We have evidence of that. Whole lot of evidence. Really convincing evidence. But they won't talk to us. They're jealous. They're jealous of us. They're jealous of how great we are. And so they will not talk to us. They are shutting down the borders and they are cutting off the lines of communication that could get us the information we need to save us all. Because we're great. So much greatness.
We have this exclusive footage. It's hard to see exactly what is going on. We showed the ominous footage to our guests.
Is this real?
Oh my god.
Oh my
What the
god.
hell is that? Ugh.
Oh my god, that's it. That's what took everything.
Only you can help us solve this mystery, wrapped in conundrums, wrapped in enigma, surrounded by chaos. If you have any information on Rona, the rude, obnoxious, nasty, angry witch that is the perpetrator of destruction across this nation, please contact us at the email address below.